To have the sitting attorney general go on, and I'm gonna call it faux news. I know some of y'all love it, but it's fake to me. To have her go on Fox News and to then decide that she wanted to send a threat to me, it was wrong. Because here it is, she is the highest law enforcement agent in this country, and people are watching and they are consuming this information and they are believing that simply because I decided that I wanted to exercise my right to free speech, which I am not abridged from doing, that she then wanted to then politicize something that should not be politicized.
Think about this. The chief prosecutor sitting in America's highest seat of justice goes on Fox News, excuse me, I'll call it faux news, and threatens an elected member of Congress live on air. Come on, how irresponsible is that? The person we call the country's top legal guardian is chasing political revenge instead of upholding the law. And you know what's funny? A segment of Fox viewers are cheering, "Oh, look how he put him in his place." So the impartiality of the judiciary has been thrown out the window. Now, am I exaggerating, or does this feel like we're undermining democracy to you too? You decide. By the way, since we're speaking the truth openly here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because if these discussions stay confined to Fox's coffee tables, we're done for.
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm gonna say it 50,000 times. I don't like him. I don't like that he going out there and he firing people. I think that he's a crook because somehow the rest of us can't sit around and get whatever federal contracts we want. The rest of us can't sit around and get law enforcement and get them somehow ordained as federal law enforcement to protect him. The rest of us can't get our dealerships protected by the federal government. That is somebody that is operating above the law. For whatever reason, just because he has a lot of money, more money than everybody else. And yes, I am happy to see that on my birthday, which is what I said, there were peaceful protests around this world against him because he is a problem. And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law. The reason that our party, or I won't even say our party, our country is torn apart is because we can't even agree on right versus wrong. This should not be left versus right. The only thing that we're asking is that we have law enforcement that will show up when there is an actual crime. If somebody calls and says, hey, I need you to investigate this cyber crime, or I need you to investigate this child pornography, or I need you to investigate this robbery, then we want somebody to show up, and we don't want them to look at us and act as if just because I'm black or because I'm woman that I am not worthy of having that case investigated, because we have an administration that is continuously railing against diversity, equity, and inclusion, or we don't need people that show up that feel like diversity should not be valued. That is why we should have somebody that may show up and looks like me. The final thing that I'll say, because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, let me tell you something. When I walk in, I'm going to walk in with a level of rapport and understanding that maybe some of my other colleagues will not. Charlie offered me my job, and I worked my butt off, and I worked really, really hard for all of my clients, not just those that look like me, and that is what it looks like to serve. Thank you.
Now listen, Jasmine Crockett's statement is very clear. I have the right to free speech. I'm not calling anyone to do anything illegal. On the contrary, I'm telling you to consult your lawyer. Yet she's still being targeted. And this reminds me of Trump's old days. Remember the lock her up slogans in the squares, fantasizing about imprisoning Hillary Clinton? Now the same mindset is sitting in the Oval Office in 2025. So the issue is simple. Trump and his entourage are using the law and the justice system as a stick for their own interests. Think about it. If an ordinary American commits a minor crime, the FBI is at their doorstep immediately. But what about someone like Elon Musk, who secures billion-dollar contracts and lays off workers? For them, special state protections kick in. Come on, that's really fair. And the Elon issue. Friends, Elon Musk is acting like the government's favorite child in this country. Federal contracts, special protections, an invincible shield that no one can easily touch. But if you, as a small business owner, fail to pay your taxes, bam, the IRS is at your door. This isn't just economic inequality, it's also political hypocrisy. And names like Pam Bondi are enabling this hypocrisy. Because this administration's priority isn't justice, it's loyalty to Trump and his billionaire friends. At this point, I ask, is this the American dream? Or is this just a wake-up call imposed on us by the rich? One of the things that caught my attention in Crockett's speech was this. He kept saying, this is not a left-right issue, it's a right-wrong issue. And he's absolutely right, because at the end of the day, the average person walking down the street is thinking, if I'm robbed or if I'm subjected to a cyber attack, who will help me? The police, the FBI, the DOJ? Are these institutions still trustworthy? Or have they become institutions that turn their backs on those who fail the political loyalty test? The foundation of this country is built on the fairness of its institutions. If people believe that justice favors one side, that is when the collapse begins. Rome collapsed in the same way, let us remember. And the darkest side of it all, the culture of threats. Both Democratic and Republican members of Congress are receiving death threats. This is no longer just a political debate. It has become a matter of physical security. And who fueled this culture? Remember Trump's rally slogans from 2016, such as, hit him in the head, take him out. These messages have been ingrained in the public's mind. Now, even the highest offices of state are using this threatening language. Folks, this is no joke. Words breed violence. And we've seen it before. The January 6th attack on Congress was the clearest proof of that. Let's not forget this either. The Trump administration always claimed, we work for the people. The people. Which people? The working class? Those who lost their jobs? Those without health insurance? No. The people they refer to is the billionaires club. So, let's be honest. This country has turned into Trump's fourth season reality show. The only difference is that now the entire country is paying the price. That's where Crockett's anger comes from. Because when we lose the impartiality of the law, the ordinary citizen has no chance. In the end, Crockett's outburst wasn't just a personal defense. It was a warning for all of us. If even elected representatives are being threatened, what will the ordinary person on the street do? If billionaires are protected by the state while the people's demands are ignored, what kind of justice system will this country operate under? Friends, history shows us. Democracy is not protected by silence, but by speaking out. If we don't speak up, they will go even further. So, I ask, do you think Crockett was right, or was he overreacting? Leave your comments. And look, I won't say the cliché, like and subscribe, but I will say this. If we leave these discussions to Fox News commentators, we all lose. So stay here, speak up, debate, because we are the ones who keep democracy alive.